I built a six-figure photography business by creating systems that eliminate chaos and overwhelm. Most photographers I know stay stuck because they're trying to do everything without a process. But I discovered 6 key systems that turned my business from unpredictable to profitable. These are the exact systems I use to go to scattered freelancer to booking 15K plus months consistently. And you can start implementing these today, even if you're drowning in manual tasks or don't know where your next client is coming from. System number 1 will completely change how you handle client outreach. The first system we need is a client acquisition system. Most photographers tend to rely on referrals, or they just post random content and hope clients are going to come to them. The sad truth is this just doesn't really work. There's no system to attract the right clients. There's no system to reach out to the correct people so that we can actually build our client base. I teach 2 main systems inside of Creative Biz Launch to our members, and these are the exact systems I use to build up Pieta Productions. The first system is a client outreach system. When we're first starting out, we need revenue so that we can build our business. We need revenue so that we can stay afloat. If we're just starting out and we want to go full-time with this business, well, what do we need to go full-time? Consistent revenue. And we can get this consistent revenue through outreach and following a sales process. So what this looked like in my business is I would scrape leads from a database like Apollo. I would then reach out to the decision makers with a targeted cold email with a value add and then a call to action. And then from that call to action, they would book a call with me. On that call, I would just follow a standard sales process on a proposal, and we would get a client that way. Now, in terms of the other system, this is going to be an inbound system, attracting premium clients, attracting your dream clients. And the best way to do this is through social media. These days, social media is something every single photographer needs to have, and they need to be posting on this consistently. So when you're building up your social media, it takes a very long time to start getting inbound leads. You have to be posting very consistently for 6 to 12 months for the premium clients to really start trickling in. So while you're building this up for 6 to 12 months, you want to be doing outreach so that you can land those premium clients. I remember when I was trying to build an outreach system myself, it took a lot of trial and error. I bought an online course teaching creative business. I started working with a coach on a weekly basis where he would help me build out these systems. He taught me how to write cold emails properly. He taught me how to set up my DNS records on the back and how to warm up emails, why not to use my main sending account for cold email. So I learned all this from him, and it still took me a very long time to crack a cold email. But when I did, the leads kept flowing in and I was able to close lots and lots of deals. If you don't know my story, I actually quit my corporate job right when I landed my first client from cold email because I had that much faith in my client acquisition system. So this is the type of system that you want. You want to be able to bring in clients consistently through outbound and then attract clients consistently through inbound. The next system that you want is a sales system. So your client outreach system, this really exists to do your marketing for you. It exists to get you leads. Now, once people are aware of what you do, well, you've done your marketing successfully, and now you hand it off to sales. So after you've marketed yourself, people actually know who you are. They visit your website, they check out your portfolio, and they're like, hey, I'm interested in your service. Maybe you can help me. From there, the sales process starts. So the sales process is a very different thing than the marketing process. The sales process is all about digging into what the client actually wants, figuring out what their problems are. So the easiest way to do this is over a sales call, a discovery call it whatever you want, but get the lead on the phone, get the lead on a Zoom call. Here you can build a little bit rapport at the start, but then you really want to dive into figuring out what their problems are. Ask what they're doing from a marketing end right now. Ask what their struggles are around running their paid ads. Ask what isn't working with their social media strategy. And then you come in and you're like, okay, you said this, and this about your social media not working. This is our package, and this is how we actually worked with other clients to help fix their social medias. Are you interested in learning more? And that's how you kind of pitch. You ask questions on these discovery calls, figuring out their problems, and then you pitch your offer as the solution to whatever problems you have. You don't want to just send your packages via email or send your pricing via email. You want to actually have a discussion with the client, show that you care about them, and show exactly how you can help them. Now, the sales call isn't enough to close a deal. After the sales call, you want to have some sort of a proposal process. So I recommend having like a systemized proposal where you just have a template that is really going to be very similar for most clients. You're going to have a template with the same cover page, the same about us page, the same like case studies page, a really similar portfolio page, the same packages and the same contract for most clients. But then you're going to have little variables that you fill in. So you're going to fill in the client name. You're going to fill in the unique ideas for this specific client. Maybe you have case studies or testimonials that are similar to this brand. For your portfolio and your proposal, you're going to have similar looking photos. So if you're pitching a cold brew company that sells cold brew in cans, you want to have like coffee images or food and beverage images in your portfolio in that proposal, so it's targeted towards this lead. The next thing you need is a follow-up system. So once you send that proposal, how are you following up with that lead? Are you sending an email that just says, hey, just following up? Are you calling them? Are you texting them? Do you have a process where you record a Loom video walking through your proposal and send it to them? Do you have a follow-up call where you go over the proposal with them? You want to make sure you have some sort of follow-up process for your sales system so that you close more deals. Now, the last thing that kind of brings this all together is having a CRM to stay organized. So you want to have a place where you can, at a glance, see all of the deals in your pipeline. So everyone from who's booked a call, everyone who you're preparing for a call for, everyone who you've sent a proposal for, everyone who needs follow-up, and then people who you've already closed. So you want a sales CRM that captures every lead at every stage of the pipeline. And by having this client outreach system and then a sales process, you're just going to close way more deals, and you're going to do it in a systemized way. By the way, if you need help with this stuff, we have a free community teaching this exact same thing. So we have a free mini course in there you can check out. We've got like 770 members when I checked this morning, which is crazy. All for free. If you're a photographer, videographer doing around like $1,000 to $5,000 a month, it's for you. So check it out. Link below. Would love to have you in there. All right, the third system that we need is an onboarding system. So once we've actually closed the deal, what happens then? This is really going to differentiate you from other photographers because most people don't have a systemized way for onboarding. So as soon as that proposal gets signed, as soon as you get a notification that the client completed that proposal, what happens next? Well, one of the first things that happens is that welcome email. So you're going to send them a welcome email, welcoming them into your world and clearly outlining what the next steps are required from them and what you're doing on the back end. So usually this looks like sending them an onboarding form that's linked in that welcome email, plus a link for them to complete the 50% deposit for that project. Once they complete that onboarding form, that's where you're going to create a mood board based on their answers. So at this point, they've completed the onboarding. You know exactly what they're looking for from the project. You've had that discovery call where you have a pretty good idea of what their goals are. So you can create a mood board with example images, example videos, photo ideas, all these different things that you can then send to the client really quickly after they've completed that onboarding form. So I actually recommend having a really quick turnaround time with this. Less than 24 hours is ideal. So as soon as they get that onboarding form completed and that deposit completed, you send them that mood board within 24 hours. And you can actually use this as a selling point back in the sales process by saying how quickly you send mood boards to clients. Now, once you send that client the mood board, what you want to do is schedule a prep call so you can both go over that mood board. And on this prep call, you're going to have yourself present on it. You're going to have like the marketing director you've been talking to on that call, but also any other team members that are required for this. So maybe there's a marketing manager or a VP of operations or a brand manager that has to be on this call. So everyone is on the same page for the shoot. So on this call, you're going to discuss that mood board. You're going to discuss the shot list. You're going to answer any questions that they have for you. You're going to ask them any questions that you have. And from there, you should be pretty aligned going into the photo shoot because everything's been discussed. Everyone knows what the creative direction is going to be. The shot list is pretty well hammered out, and all you have to do is the production work. So this is the best onboarding process that I found. This is what I teach in Creative Biz Launch to our members because this will lead to a lot more repeat clients. Okay, so system number 4. You've got you know what has to happen in the shoot. Everyone's on the same page. The production is the next step here. So I'm not really going to touch upon this too much since this is a creative business channel and the production work, well, that's kind of your forte, right? The production work is pretty straightforward, but I still like to have a system for the production work. So the stuff that we do in Pieta Productions, we do product photography, we do videography, and we do stop motions. And we kind of have systems for all of these things. The packages that we sell are pretty productized, I should say. So an example package could be 10 product photos and 3 stop motion videos. Because we have the mood board, we know exactly what we have to do. So I just pull up the shot list mood board on my computer. I tether myself to my computer. And from there, we start the shooting process. Now, for every part of this production process, I like to have some sort of SOPs or checklists in place. So What has to happen before I tether to my computer? Now, sometimes I forget the exact steps to check off when I'm tethering. So I have a checklist I go through so I don't have to remember this stuff, right? I don't want to waste my creative energy remembering how to tether properly when I can just glance at a checklist really quickly, right? And I do this for all different parts of the production process. We want to have as much stuff systemized so that our creativity gets saved for the creative work. We're creatives at heart, and what we want to do is focus on the photo shoot. We don't want to have to focus on setting up all the tech stuff, everything else like that. We want to focus our energy on the creative work. So we want to systemize parts of the production process. Now, for anyone watching this, like this channel is for videographers, photographers, brand videographers, event photographers. There's so many different niches that I teach on this channel. So I'm not going to dive too deep into the production process. Just figure out what you need, systemize as much of it as possible, and then move on. Okay, system number 5. And this one I think is really underrated, and a lot of people sleep on this. This is a content system. We all know that we have to be posting to social media. We all know the more we post to social media, the more clients we're going to get. It's pretty straightforward, right? If someone's posting every single day, they're going to do a lot better than someone posting once a week. But posting every single day is hard. Where do we get all this content from? How can we do the posting? How can we do the outreach? How can we do the production work as a one-person show? So to do this, we need a content system. Every single client project that you have can be turned into 10, 15, even 20 pieces of content. So right off the bat, if you're a photographer, you've got 10 photos that you can share to your Instagram. That's 10 pieces of content. If you're a videographer, you're probably going to have like one long form video, and then you can chop up the videos too to share. But those are just the final assets. You can then create a video of the behind the scenes of the shoot, talking through certain shots that you took and why you shot them that way, how you set up the lights for that, why you use certain props, why you told a certain story through a photo. So you can do the behind the scenes of that too. And then once you have a happy client from that shoot, well, you're going to have a testimonial that you can share too. So you're going to have a testimonial from the client. You're going to be able to share that testimonial as a piece of content, plus have a call to action at the end of this testimonial so that more people book you from this. And what other content can we have from this? Well, you can actually walk through the process that we've outlined earlier in this video. So maybe you have a very unique onboarding process with your client. You have that onboarding form, you've got a mood board that you send over, you have a prep call. Talk about that process in your content, right? If we can talk about our processes on social media, that's going to build our credibility more so than people that just post straight up photos. So if we can talk about how we work with clients, we're going to have extra content pieces. So this can be 1, 2, 3 even content pieces that you can share. And this is for every client. So let's say you work with 2 clients a month. Well, you've got 10 photos you can share. You've got a testimonial you can share. You've got a case study you can share. You've got the process you can share. That's going to be 2 or 3 videos. That's already 15 here. And there's so many more pieces of content you can extract from each client project. So what you want to be doing is not really creating separate pieces of content that have nothing to do with your client projects. We can take our client projects and make them part of our content strategy. And this is the best way I found to use to create a content system when you're starting out, because you don't have the budget to maybe hire a editor. You don't have the budget to have someone shoot B-roll in your studio, right? So you got to do this all yourself. But by using a content system like this, it's going to make it way, way easier. And if you're doing this consistently from the start, you're going to start attracting those premium clients 6, 12 months down the road, which is going to be fantastic here. Okay, now system number 6, this is going to be your growth system. What does this mean? Well, at the end of every client project, you want a system to bring in more clients. You actually want to get your current client to bring in you more projects. So we can do this a few ways. One, we want to have a way to get reviews or testimonials from our client. So at the end of a project, after we've delivered the final assets and they're like, hey, this work is amazing, you're going to send them a request for them to leave a testimonial or review about their authentic experience working with you. Once they've left you that testimonial and you think you've gotten them good results, you can also ask them for a case study. So what was the transformation that went on after they started working with you? Do they have a new website here? So you can have a before and after of their website. Was there a financial gain for them, right? Did their Instagram ad conversions go up? Do you have that metric available? So you can figure out loads and loads of different ways to do case studies with your clients. That's the second thing you want in your growth system. The third thing that you want here is to have some sort of referral system. So you want to incentivize referrals so that they start bringing in clients to you. If you did a fantastic job on this client project, if they're super happy with you, they're going to want to refer their friends, their peers to you. And this is really great because that type of marketing is the strongest marketing. And leads that come from referrals are the hottest leads. They're the most likely to work with you. So you want to optimize some sort of referral system like this. So I like incentivizing referrals either by giving my clients a percent off of next project or a few $100 off of their next project. This is a great way to kind of incentivize referrals, and I think do it pretty ethically. And everyone kind of wins here, right? You get a referral, your current client gets a little bit off of their next project, which then feeds back into your company because you're able to take on another client through repeat clients. So this is the next part of the growth system, is optimizing for repeat clients. Repeat clients are going to be your best friends. For me, like 80% of my revenue comes from repeat clients. So in order to get those repeat clients, we need that great customer experience, which we kind of talked about in the onboarding process. We have to really have fast communication, stay professional, and most importantly, get them the results that we promise. Because if you remember back to our discovery call, we're digging into their problems, we're proposing solutions to those problems. So once we've finished working with a client, we want to make sure that that solution actually happens. So even asking for feedback from your clients is going to be valuable in learning whether or not you actually provide the solution you promise. And if you can provide the solution consistently, if you can have a great customer experience, time and time again, you're going to get repeat clients, you're going to have a thriving business here, and you're going to hit 6 figures with these 6 systems. So if you need anything else around this, please join the free community. We've got loads of more trainings around these very topics. We'd love to help you grow more in there. Link in the bio. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.